we just saw the movie Thor.
Oh,
and it was, I didn't really want to see it at first, but he's like, no, you really will love seeing this movie. You got to see it.
And did you?
I did. And I was exhilarated. And, you know, if you
Why?
guys, because I saw these different beings
yes.
in the galaxy, other races, and I felt such a connection to them, and I wish I was there with them acting out the different.
Does that mean you're also going to go see the latest movie entertainment that also deals with other beings in the galaxy?
There's one that I do plan to go see. It's
Is it the color green?
Green Lantern, yes. And I did have a question about that. There's been talk that, you know, as open contact becomes more open, that society will start showing more of what other races look like. Is that right? Not right, but
do you mean will your depictions in your science fiction stories become more accurately representative of some of the races that exist?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And does that movie reflect that?
Some.
Okay.
Now, again, remember, anything you can imagine is real because you cannot imagine non-existence. But when I say some, I mean some that are relevant to anything that you could experience as being somewhat similar to your understanding of reality. All of them are real in their own context, but may not be relevant to your dimension of experience. But some actually are.
Okay. Thank you. So when I was watching the movie Thor, I felt like I wanted to be there, and I was kind of meditating on that later on after the movie, and my inner guidance told me, because I was asking, well, why am I not there if I like it so much?
You are not, but you are.
Right. And I received that. Well, that is part of you. That is
yes.
You.
That's why you resonate to it.
Right. And you're on Earth to bring that here.
Yes.
As an emanation.
Yes.
So
you're the conduit. You're the valve through which you can bring that energy down to Earth and give off a vibration that will allow choices to be made that are in alignment with that frequency.
Yes, I was very happy.
That's why you have these kinds of stories. That's why one of the most powerful storytelling tools you have is movies, because it really gives you an interactive experience. And what you call theme parks. It gives you an interactive experience of story. And thus it sinks in because you're actually viscerally there in the vibration and together, unified in many ways.
I feel that a lot. And the next
now,
part of
we
the
wish
story,
to also point out a very interesting polarity happening at this time with respect to these kinds of stories that involve what you call extraterrestrial beings. Because in this moment right now, you actually have presented at the same time a completely polarized idea of this notion in your entertainment. You have the idea we have just discussed of a story that involves the idea of what you would call an interstellar peacekeeping corps of extraterrestrials. And at the same time, you're also premiering
the Transformers movie.
That, and also another one called Falling Skies, where your world is dominated by extraterrestrials on your television sets. So you have presented the polarity for yourself so that you can explore and play with the idea of both sides simultaneously. You're bringing these creations closer and closer and closer to the center point so that you can really experience the balance of the dark and the light, the balance of the negative and the positive, and really decide what you prefer by exploring these stories so close to each other, on top of each other even. Good timing.
Yeah. Thank you for expanding on that. I remember the first time I heard you speak of the EIL, the Shalanaya.
Yes.
And all the senses in my being just perked up.
Oh, right.
And I got goosebumps.
They are part of your story.
Yes, they are. They are. And
they are one of the other hybrid races, the first one that will contact your world for those asking the question in their minds, what's the Shalanaya?
And I got goosebumps, and I never get goosebumps that I remember except for when I'm cold. And so I thought, I always heard people talk about getting goosebumps, but I've never got them. And then so when I got them, I was like,
well,
whoa.
now I can't say that anymore.
And I was like, wow, that is true. And as I listened to it,
yes,
the goosebumps they were like waves. They just continued to like electrify me.
Yes.
And
do you understand fundamentally what that effect is you call goosebumps?
I don't know.
The idea is that they will be constrictions around the hair follicles that will allow the hair follicles to rise up and become more receptive antennas to that energy.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
Yes.
Thank you for expanding on that. And so as I continued to listen to that, I just closed my eyes and I got a sense as if I was there with them. Even now, like I feel like I can tap into them.
Yes.
And there's been certain occurrences and instances, one is being all of the month of May. I saw these clouds over Mount Baldy, that's close to where I live, that I've never seen like that ever before. They look like the ones on Mount Shasta.
Yes.
And they were over Mount Baldy, the range, and the whole month of May. I haven't seen them June, but I just thought, wow, that is so amazing. I felt like that was their presence showing themselves.
Well, in a sense, it is more the idea of your collective consciousness creating symbolic representations of what you are becoming more and more aware of, and in a sense, preparing yourselves for something more solid. You're using your own weather, you're using your own clouds to create shapes to represent what you will actually ultimately see in physical form.
Okay.
You're preparing yourselves for contact with those forms. They're like placeholders.
And
because you are changing your weather.
Right. I was wondering if you could tell a bit of a story of maybe some of the things you know that the Shalanaya or the IL would like for us to know at this time where we're at on Earth, and how we can be more open to them.
Right.
And how
water is very important. The more you allow yourself to allow crystallization, purification, higher resonance energies to, in that sense, interact with the structure of the water that you drink, the more you will aid and assist in the clarification of your bodily systems and the increasing of the silicon in your systems to make you more receptive to our frequencies, more receptive to our communications, so that you may receive those communications and the beginning of dialogues that will lay down the foundations and lay down the paths of our eventual contact. Water is key.
Thank you.
That is the message from them.
I heard them. Thank you.